I think winter has become my favorite season here. That's when you get those dramatic views. Brings out all the colors and the gray pops, and I feel like it's kind of like Mecca or the center of the universe. It's not a fluffy place to come. It's not a feel-good, boost your ego. It's just like you get a beating. Yeah, if I could only climb one place for the rest of my life, it would be Yosemite.
Since 1966, we have viewed walls not as obstacles, but as opportunities. From the big walls of Yosemite to the high peaks of the Himalaya, we were searching for a personal kind of freedom. In this pursuit, we found a community, strengthened by different stories, experiences, and perspectives. This community has shown us that the only way forward is together.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Welcome to the USA Climbing National Team Trials presented by YETI. We are in Memphis, Tennessee, where the best climbers in the country have gathered to compete for a national team spot after over a year away from competitions. We are at the beautiful High Point Climbing and Fitness here in the birthplace of rock and roll, and the athletes are preparing to give it their all. We're back for the men's and women's speed finals. I'm Megan Martin alongside Alex Johnson, and we are so excited to be here for speed tonight. Arguably one of the coolest disciplines in climbing. It's so fast. What are you expecting to see tonight?
For sure. Speed is a discipline that I get really excited about watching because it's the only discipline in climbing that's head-to-head, and it's an elimination round, it's brackets, it's just like basketball, and so we're going to know who's winning and who's advancing, and so it should be really exciting.
Well, let's take a quick look at the bracket for tonight's event. So a lot of familiar faces here competing in the final. John Brosler, one of the best speed climbers we've had in the US, and some other familiar faces.
Really cool to see that both of our Olympians have also qualified for finals. They've been working really hard on speed, and it's awesome to see their name in the running here.
And for the men, there will be 16 men competing in the final here tonight. We had a lot of excitement yesterday with national records being broken. First up, Noah Bracci came out and totally broke John Brosler's former record of 5.99 with a record of 5.85. Really exciting to see at the beginning of the day. Everyone was so excited, but then he only was able to keep that record for about a minute because John Brosler came back out and broke Noah's record right after, running a time of 5.62.
That is insane and also not far off from the world record. So we're really excited to see what's going to happen tonight. I think records are going to be broken again, and I can't wait to see him go head to head.
And AJ, who do you think will end up on the top of the podium tonight?
For the men, I'm gonna have to stay with Brosler. He was a previous national record holder, and he's been working super hard in the training center, and I think he's gonna walk away with it tonight. What do you think?
That's definitely a good pick. I'm still gonna go with, John Brosler. I have to. Oh, I'm just kidding. You just went with John Brosler. I take it back. I'm going with Noah because he is a dark horse, and I think that, he had a second of, happiness with that record, but he's going to be fighting to keep a record going for the next couple of years. So I think he's going to put it all out there tonight.
He definitely had a taste of holding the record for a minute, and I think he's going to be hungry to hold it. So that's a good pick.
We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the ladies bracket right now. So again, some familiar faces here. Emma Hunt is the national record holder from the Pan American Championships. A couple other new faces, Julia Duffy, one of our younger competitors.
Both of our Olympians as well, again, in this final for the women, Kyra and Brooke. Both of them have been working speed and excited to see their name in the finals here as well.
And again, we had some serious excitement on the women's side with Emma Hunt actually breaking her own record from Pan American Championships in 2020. At that event, she put up an 8:05, and here she was able to put up an 8:04.
That was really cool to see. Emma is one of my favorites. She's the current national team champion, national speed champion, and I think that she's going to have several chances again tonight to break her own record. I'm pretty sure she's put up some 7s in practice, and that would be really rad to see her tonight. I think my pick for walking away with the championship for tonight will be Emma.
And this time I'm actually going to agree with you and also pick Emma. I agree, coming out here in the qualifier and getting that 8:04 was awesome, but I know she has been going in the 7s, and I think that's what she wants. So hopefully we see that from her tonight.
Definitely a chance for them to go head to head. Will give them more runs and more chances to break a record, and so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, the wall that you're gonna see here, sorry everyone, my mask is falling off, but it is a standard wall. It's a wall that they've seen before. It's certified, so take a look at it. We're gonna have a seat and get this competition going. Right now you're seeing on that left side of your screen, John Brosler getting ready for his first run. Again, he is our national record holder currently, getting that record back. And on the right side of him, we see Noah Budnitz. Now this is a first 16th place race. Climbers getting prepped to go, waiting for that buzzer. Really nice start from John Brosler. You see why he is the national champion and record holder, putting up a pretty good time for his first run.
6:1, I'd say, is relatively slow for him, but you'll see in that race we had two different sequences. Brosler on the left doing what's notoriously known as the Tomoa start or the Tomoa skip, and Noah on the right doing the sort of classic standard beta where you swing out to the left, use that far foot and the left hold, and then continue up. Both methods have held world records, so there's no one to say which one is better, but the Tomoa skip is becoming a more well-known and well-used
it's definitely a popular method that we'll see a lot here tonight. Now, one thing to note, since this is a knockout round, it's not surprising that John's time wasn't as fast as normal because he knows he's going up against an athlete who doesn't have a PR that's as fast as his, but he needs to make sure he doesn't false start to stay in the competition. So it's really important to play it safe a little bit, especially in that knockout round. Here are our next two athletes, Darren Skolnick from Haworth, New Jersey. He is in that 8th place spot going up against Joe Goodacre.
Classic Joe face.
With that headband that he wants us all to know about, actually. And he's currently in 9th place. So this will be a much closer race as their standings are a lot closer than the race we previously saw. Again, the athletes getting in their ready position, waiting for the beeps.
Ready.
Looks like we've got clean starts from both athletes. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a much closer race. Looks like Joe Goodacre is going to end up walking away with the win and moving on to that next round with a 6.54. He's definitely another athlete who's had lower times, but quite a good time there for Joe.
Yeah, Joe's been on the national speed team for a few years. So he's definitely going to be one to watch tonight for a spot on the podium. You'll notice their start positions when they put their hands on the start holds. If some of them are doing the Tomoa skip, they'll start with their bodies aligned pretty much parallel with the wall, and then some of them who do the sort of standard swing to the left beta will start with their bodies closer to the wall and a little to the right, and that allows them to sort of pump themselves towards that foot out left. A lot of them skip the second foot that you can see there. They start with their right foot on the start foot. They'll skip the second foot, swing their left over to the third foot, and use that momentum to propel them upwards.
Getting ready for our next set of climbers, Nathaniel Coleman, one of our Olympic qualified athletes in the men's competition tonight on the left, and Thomas Pitzel on the right. And these are the 4th and 13th positions. Nathaniel's on the left side in 4th place currently, and Thomas is on the right in 13th. So this will most likely be a little more similar to the first race we saw in the athletes not being as close in time.
Ready.
Good starts from both athletes. Really important to explode out of the blocks, but not too fast. And it looks like Nathaniel's going to walk away with a good time of 6.71. Again, these times won't be as fast as what we might see later, just because they're trying to make sure they win that first knockout round.
Right. A great run for Nathaniel. He's been working on his speed leading into the Olympics in August, and we're definitely seeing that out of him tonight. Nathaniel did the Tomoa method, as you can see. Couple slips there. That was pretty clean.
It's really important to be clean on the buzzer too. We've seen so many times where athletes don't jump as strongly as they mean to and just narrowly miss that sensor. And if they do, their time keeps running and they don't get a time, and they would lose that knockout round.
Right. The most important thing here is don't false start, so don't leave the ground early. That sensor can tell if you're jumping the gun a little bit here, and then the other most important thing is hit the buzzer at the top. Just like Megan said, if you miss it at all, your time keeps running, and then you end up with a minute.
A look at our next set of athletes. Michael Finn Henry, 21 years old, 6'3". He's been a speed specialist for many years, so expecting to see a pretty fast run for him. A fast run from him. And he's currently in 5th with Stefan Fellner.
Climbers on your
currently in
mark.
12th. Athletes take a second to get in the right position. You'll notice that they don't always have the floorboard in the same, or the floor sensor in the same spot, because everyone has a different position that they like to be in. A little bobble at the beginning for Michael, but it looks like he's able to recover and get up there and walk away with the win with a 6.57.
That's super important when it comes to speed climbing, and it's honestly really hard to make up for. When you do have a slip, you're generating so much momentum off of those feet that if any of your feet slip, it's really hard to pick that momentum back up. But with speed climbing, just like in the bouldering rounds that we've seen, it's not over till it's over, and someone can slip and think they're out of the running, and their opponent slips, and the person who slipped first totally catches them. Like, we've seen some insane races where one slips and then the other slips and then the other slips again and then the other slips again, and you literally don't know who's going to win until the buzzer is hit.
Yeah, so it's really important if you do slip as a competitor to not, or if you see out of the corner of your eye your other competitor slip, you have to stay in the game because anything can happen.
Totally.
Noah Bracci getting ready for his first run. Remember, he is in second place and held that record for about a minute to 5 minutes yesterday, so he's going to be hungry. And then Caden Reedy, 15 years old, I think actually the youngest competitor we've had this week. Looks like he might do that to Moa Beta.
The athletes are being really cautious about making sure they don't false start here, as USA Climbing has switched over to IFSC rules with one false start means you are out. In the past, you were sort of forgiven for a false start and you got to give a second attempt. IFSC and now USA Climbing has adopted 0 false starts, so you false start and you're out. So these athletes are being really cautious off the block here.
Clean runs from both athletes, and actually Caden giving Noah a good run for his money considering he was actually in the 15th place spot. So he was definitely ready to put up a good time. On our left, we have Olympic qualifier Colin Duffy. He is in a pretty good position here going into the speed final in 7th place and going up against Vincent Lee in 10th place. Colin put up a pretty good time in the qualifier, definitely slower than what he's capable of. So probably on this run he will go a little slow. Well, I think he might still go a little slower, not too all out, just because again it's that first round of knockout.
Colin should theoretically be feeling a little less nervous than his competitors, as he's already secured a spot to the Speed World Cup in Salt Lake in May. The rest of these athletes are vying for a spot that last weekend in May for the Speed World Cup.
Major upset there with Colin Duffy actually not winning that round and Vincent Lee walking away with a win.
He's got to be stoked on that.
Super stoked. Also a very good time, 6:73. I definitely think it was faster than his time in the qualifier, so he'll be really happy to be moving on.
It seems like a lot of these athletes have sort of taken the year off in the pandemic to really, really hone their skills here, get faster, get more powerful, learn the sequence even more specifically, and it definitely looks like it's paying off. We're seeing a lot of fast times here.
A second ago, you saw that replay, and Colin Duffy had kind of a double slip on that foothold. He slipped with his right foot not getting on it and tried to bring his left over, but then slipped again, and it just wasn't enough with how close Vincent was to him to walk away with that win. So it's definitely going to be a major upset for him, having gone out in that very first round. But luckily for him, like Alex was saying earlier, he already has qualified to compete in the World Cups for speed because he is a qualified Olympic athlete. So though it's not what he wanted to happen, he's still going to have another chance to compete in lead. Or, I mean, sorry. Well, he is, because he is doing lead as well, but also speed in those World Cup events.
Climbers on your mark.
On our left, we have Merritt Ernsberger. And on our right, Alec Gonzalez. Merritt in the 3rd place position. And Alec in the 14th place.
Ready.
Looks like good starts from both athletes. Merritt really firing out of the blocks. That was so fast. Honestly, 6:03. That was incredible.
48 hours ago, that would have been close to a national record.
Exactly. I was trying to talk about how efficient he was with his feet, but honestly, I'm not even sure he placed them on any of the footholds. He was moving so fast. That was insane. You can see he really does place his feet perfectly every time. No fumbles whatsoever. Amazing time for Merritt Ernsberger.
Must have been a PR. He was stoked.
Yeah, right? It's definitely likely.
The number of times that these athletes run these routes and the repetition, you'll notice that they don't even look down when they place their feet. They've done it so many times. Their muscle memory has it so dialed. They don't have to look down, and also looking down wastes time. The second you look down to place your feet, you have to look back up to place your hands, and that's like precious time that can't be wasted.
Yeah, it's really hard to stay in that flow if you're constantly looking down at your feet. Taking a look at Joshua Muring right there in that lane A position. He's coming into this round in 6th place, and Quino Francia on the right side coming into the round in 11th place. Both
Climbers on
athletes
your mark.
putting up pretty good times yesterday, and I think this will be a pretty good race as well. I mean, it's closer in standing, so, and we just saw a mishap with Colin Duffy, so anything can happen. Good starts for both.
Slip from Quinn, but
by good starts, mostly talking about the reaction time being okay. It can't be less than 0.100, but early bobble for Quinn. But Josh Muring was able to keep it together the entire time and run a really nice, smooth run. Not his fastest time, but
his goal after that was honestly just to stay on the wall. As soon as your competitor falls, all you have to do is finish. And so you do not have to have the fastest time. You just want to get to the top. And so as soon as he saw Quinn fall, he sort of knew that he could relax a little bit, but stay focused enough to stay on the wall. An interesting play back there. We watched his right foot slip in the smear, and I've heard a lot of these athletes here say that it's a slippery wall, and that happens like, you know, there's not a globally homogeneous wall texture, and so they'll come to a wall in China or this wall, for example, and the texture, the holds can be a little different based on the pores, and you see a lot of skid marks on the wall here. And a lot of the speeders have said that the wall is a little slippery, and I'm not sure if that's just the texture of the plates or the paint, but usually they can stick those smears. We might be seeing some more slips tonight. I remember there was a World Cup we were at. It was a bouldering speed combo, and we were watching speed finals, and so many slips. And all of those athletes were like, the wall's slippery, it's a slippery wall. And it's so interesting that you can tell the difference in texture, but just between like various walls around the world, you know? We are nerds.
So we just did our first round of the speed final for the men. We will be moving into the quarterfinal round. So athletes will do another knockout round with the winners from the previous sets. So here's a look at the brackets. You'll see John Brosler racing Joe Goodacre, Nathaniel Coleman racing Michael Finn Henry. And we'll move on to the next page where Noah Bracci will be facing Vincent Lee, and Merritt Ernsberger will be facing Joshua Muring. Already off to a really, exciting start, mainly because there's a huge upset with Colin Duffy not being in this quarterfinal. That's something about speed, and actually that's why this team selection is done a specific way, because speed, though it is the only part of the climbing disciplines that's rehearsed, it is so explosive and anything can happen. And since we are selecting a team for the World Cups, we're really hoping to get our best speed athletes out there. So the competition is run a little differently in this discipline than it is in the bouldering and the lead disciplines.
Right, so this team selection event, the team is not selected with first, second, third, the podium. This team is selected by our Olympians, obviously, Colin and Nathaniel. They have a bye onto the team. The next spot will be taken by the champion tonight, who is the winner of these brackets. And the two following spots will be the fastest 2 times of the weekend. So it's not, let's say, for example, first, second, third on the podium this weekend. So this means that theoretically, our current national record holder, John Brosler, could false start, and there is a way for him to be saved and chosen to be on the team because he put up the fastest time this weekend. So it's sort of a fail-safe for our speeders here. It's first place from this event, first fastest time, second fastest time, and our 2 Olympians.
Really nicely said, AJ. Yeah, I'm gonna call her AJ from now on. That's actually her nickname. You just saw a quick replay of John Brosler's really nice first round run. Now he's gonna be going for this quarterfinal run, which I think will be faster because he is going up against Joe Goodacre, who also put up a pretty good first time. And the goal is still for John to make it to the final round and to end up in that #1 spot, and I'm sure he wants more chances to continuously break his record.
Right. Really nice starts by these two boys, and Joe is a notoriously fast speed climber.
Wow, look at that. Another really nice time there for John Brosler. So the record he put up in Pan Am's was 5.99. So that means this week he has already broken that record multiple times, which means this last year of training for him has gone really well. You saw a really nice start from both of the men and a real race here. Joe Goodacre doesn't care that John Brosler is the national speed champion. He was going for him anyway and put up a really nice time with 6.21.
And 6.2 could have been a first place time this time last year, you know? And speed 100%. Is something that it's hard to make those incremental time cuts, you know?
Totally.
You're sprinting. It's the same, like doing the 100-meter dash. It's the same thing over and over again, and it's hard to get significantly faster, like you think you're the fastest you've ever been, and especially with speed. So knocking, you know, 0.3 seconds off your time is a huge deal.
And in fact, that 6.21 time puts Joe into the 4th fastest time of the weekend, or the week that we have here. And so he could be in the running depending on how it all plays out later if we go back to that fastest time rank. On the left, we have Nathaniel Coleman getting ready for his second run, our qualified Olympic athlete, and Michael Finn Henry on the right.
Ready.
Nice starts by both men. Really head-to-head here. See if, oh, a little
slip from
Nathaniel. Not going to make it happen. Michael Finn Henry will win that round with a time of 6.46, which is actually what Nathaniel's time was in the qualifier, which is. And actually, Michael's was 6.47 in the qualifier, so he just improved by a tenth.
0.01.
Yeah,
hey,
a tenth
that's
of a
what
second.
Emma broke her record by, so it counts.
It's definitely
And this is
exciting.
a certified speed wall, so these records do hold and they do count. Oh, I tried to recover there, but it's so hard once you slip on this wall, and especially it being possibly a slippery speed wall. From what we've heard, it's really hard to recover. Like, you never give up, but it is, your momentum's going so fast that when you slip, your momentum gets shot downward so fast, it's really hard to then, again, propel yourself back upwards.
Another look at Noah Bracci getting ready to clip. Now he's clipped in, getting ready to set up for his second run on the left. And on the right, we have Vincent Lee already clipped in, chalking up before approaching the wall. Both men putting up good times in that previous round, and Vincent Lee already creating an upset. So,
Climbers on your
I mean,
mark.
he's on a roll right now. This is cherry on the top, because going into that round in the second lane
Ready.
in his first round, he had to fight for it. Good reaction time from both men. Noah off to an early lead, very efficient with that replacement, 5.96. They have gotten so fast this year. Turns out that year away from comps was kind of helpful. Noah Bracci able to walk away with a win in this quarterfinal round.
Got to give a shout out to True Blue, the official auto belay sponsor of USA Climbing. That's what these gentlemen are currently using to fly up the wall here. True Blue auto belay. Thanks for keeping the speeders safe.
Yes, thank you so much. We really need a nice auto belay system so they can put up those crazy fast times. I mean, think back to when we used top ropes back in the day. It was not safe, not able to get people up the wall as fast. You need an auto belay, and we're so happy to have True Blue.
Right, we'd have two people on a gree-gree, one to pull in and the other one to run backwards.
3 people. You needed 3 people. You needed the puller, the belayer, and
Not
the extra
safe.
backup.
So sketch.
Merritt Ernsberger getting ready for his second run. We're speculating, but we're pretty sure he might have put up a PR for himself in that previous run. Joshua Murring also with a nice time of 7.7, slower for him, but was a safe time, so he's gonna have to fight to go against that previous time of 6.03 from Merritt Ernsberger.
He's got to be excited about his PR, and at this point, winning a race and getting a PR, you kind of ride that momentum into these races now, and you really have nothing left to lose. And so expect to see something cool from him.
Good reaction times from both athletes. Ooh, early slip for Josh. Slip for Merritt, just like we were talking about earlier. It can happen at any time. Not a great time for either of them, but Merritt's able to walk away with the win and recover nicely and move on to this next bracket. He looks like he's relieved to have won that. Just like Alex was saying earlier, you really can't let the fall from someone else next to you take away your focus. And Merritt, he didn't necessarily do that, but when he had a slip, he quickly recovered, didn't even try to take a second to look at what Josh was doing, and just got back in it and was able to walk away with a win that way. We have a 5-minute break here because the athletes need to recover. And I was just gonna make the silliest joke ever, but not to be obvious, but the speed rounds really do go by so fast. Like, we're already gonna be moving into that semifinal coming up. And we've been on air for, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe?
Seconds.
I don't even know. I think it's literally been 22 minutes. So everything over here happens really quickly and already off to a lot of excitement. Another look at those climbing holds that are the speed holds. They look identical. Not everybody uses every hold. There's different betas. They're always changing. The betas, not the holds.
The betas.
The betas, which is the way in which the athletes approach their runs. These are all official IFSC climbing holds for the speed wall. They have to be in order to hold an event like this and to have records broken. And the athletes practice on these, and it's nice to have a discipline that is rehearsed in climbing, because constantly climbers are having to prepare for possibilities. But for speed, it's all about just keeping it together, rehearsing what you want to do and putting it out there and performing and recovering from any mistake that happens.
That, and some of these athletes honestly don't even have the full speed wall to rehearse on. The speed wall is 15 meters high. It's supposed to be at a 20-degree angle. Grid system panels, as you can see there, they're all squares. The T-nuts are all perfectly drilled, and the speed wall is set the same throughout the world. And so it's not cheap to have one of these, and it's not cheap to set one up. I think one hold set is around $3,000. So any gym that has this puts the athletes training at a huge advantage, especially if it's a full 15-meter speed wall set to scale. I know a lot of gyms and athletes train on, they order the hold set and then set the speed route in sections. So maybe they don't have the full 15 meters to put the route, but they can break the route into 3 different sections and then practice the start. You know, it's bouldering height. Do the start, drop down onto a pad, quick run over to the middle, run the middle section, drop down onto the pad, quick run over to the end, and like practice the end. And then that way it's super beneficial, because you can practice the sections that you're the worst at or that you need the most work on without sort of dangling from the auto belay. You can really pinpoint what needs the most work and then battle the sections that way.
Let's take a quick look at where we are with the bracket. So John Brosler will be racing against Michael Finn Henry in this semifinal. And we will have Noah Bracci racing against Merritt Ernsberger in the other round of the semifinal. And what's interesting about this is those athletes were in the top 5 spots coming into this round. Michael Finn Henry was in that 5th spot coming into this whole finals competition. So
not seeing a ton of surprises,
not
I guess.
a ton, yeah. This is a pretty good speed round in terms of the athletes performing consistently from the previous qualification round. Let's take a quick look at the second run we had from John Brosler. Much faster than his first run. He wasn't playing it as safe. He had a really explosive start here, and he never showed any sign of slowing down. Really nice foot placements the whole way through, and a great time of 5.79, which, like we said earlier, if you were with us, was way faster than his 5.99 in Pan Am's.
Really awesome to see Brosler be that consistent. And here we have a look at Noah's run. He was our 2nd place finalist coming into tonight. Another really solid run from him.
Looking like there's a possibility to see a really cool showdown between both of those athletes. Everything has to go perfectly for them in the semifinal first, but it would be really exciting to see John Brosler and Noah Bracci battle it out.
Head to head.
But first, we are going to see John Brosler go against Michael Finn Henry for that semifinal race. Both athletes making sure that their foot pads are in the right position for what they are comfortable with for their start. It takes a while, honestly, to figure out what you like when it comes to your start position, don't you think?
It's like measuring your steps out on the pole vault track or the triple jump, you know? It moves by like 8 inches to a foot depends on your gait.
Totally. The irony being that both Alex and I also were pole vaulters.
Both of us were state champion pole vaulters.
Michael Finn Henry on the right, getting ready to go against the national speed champion and the national record holder, John Brosler, on the left for the semifinal run.
This is going to be a good race.
Ready.
I'm nervous. Good starts from both athletes. John really flying up the wall, but Michael is trying to catch up. 5.77. Man, these consistent 5.7 times from John. Really exciting to see the improvement that he's had over this last year, even away from competitions. Gotta say that maybe having all that time to train has been really good for him.
It's interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear the athletes, or if you can just hear us babbling on, but there is so much explosive power off the cool camaraderie there. They're using so much explosive power off the mat there that I don't know if you guys could hear Michael Finn Henry sort of give like yell as he goes, like a power scream, like the Olympic weightlifters. Like they are propelling themselves off the ground so hard. It's a really interesting sport to watch. It's not something that I find myself doing very often anymore, not competing, but one of the most exciting disciplines in climbing to watch. It's head to head. It's the only thing that you can see objective improvement in. You get faster times. Maybe you climb a harder grade when you're bouldering or lead climbing, but grades are so subjective, you know? Speed climbing is who's the fastest, there's a timer, you hit a buzzer.
We have Noah Bracci on the left and Merritt Ernsberger on the right, trying to get into that final. Good starts from both athletes. Early slip for Noah Bracci. It looks like Merritt Ernsberger is going to walk away and end up in that big final with a time of 6.17.
He's stoked.
Pretty big upset there for Noah Bracci. But now, because we are down to our final four, Noah will move into the small final, going against Michael Finn Henry for that third place position, and Merritt will go into the final with John. Big slip there from Noah.
Not actually sure what part of him slipped.
I think it was his foot, but he was able to still hold on with his hands, but not able to get back into the run fast enough because Merritt never slowed down and put up another good time here today.
Right, and he's going into the final, and so it'll be interesting to see what kind of time he puts up. If he ends up winning, then he'll be on the team, and if he ends up getting second place, it'll come down to fastest time, and if he does have one of the fastest 2 times of the event, that will put him on the team, not his second place finish.
Exactly, so it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens, and we can't do anything but speculate at this point.
Right.
A few more things have to happen. We're gonna take another break so the athletes can have time to recover. Really nice setup here that High Point put together for us. This is the first time that we've had a competition where each discipline is being competed in full rounds. Normally, if there was a 3-discipline competition, it's just a combined event, but really thankful that High Point Climbing gave us the opportunity to host this inaugural team trials event.
They have it all, really. You know, the bouldering section is sort of over here in front of us. You can't tell, but by itself, but there's the bouldering area that's perfect for hosting an event like this, and then in the center of the gym is the speed wall. Ooh, here we go.
Here's a fly-through of the gym. Do you feel like you are on a roller coaster ride? Because I do. This is a nice look at the kids area, also known as a Funtopia. quick turn out of the doors. We're gonna go straight back into the massive lead area, which you've seen shots of if you were watching our broadcast a couple days ago. Really nice wall angles here, lots of diverse area, which the route setters have taken advantage of in the lead rounds that we've had this week. And now we're gonna take a quick turn into the bouldering area and then go overview of the lead and back to the speed. We kind of cut short the bouldering.
Oh, there we go. This is what Megan and I are looking at.
So the flyby came back. It disappeared. So I was like, and we're not going bouldering.
They crashed the drone.
Now we are. Back into this bouldering area, which has way more holds than you would normally see in a competition.
So it is the perfect setup for an event like this. You know, it's isolated bouldering area, isolated speed area, and isolated lead zone. And it's really awesome that we're able to run not only 3 disciplines throughout the week, but multiple disciplines at the same time. You know, we ran all 3 today. Bouldering for the men and lead for the women were happening at the same time, and now we're running speed, and it has never seemed like it's too busy. I mean, there's not spectators, but it's been really cool to have everything kind of going on at the same time. Hard to watch because there's excitement going down on both sides of the gym.
Exactly. So it's really interesting because right now, Merritt Ernsberger put up the 3rd fastest time with 6:03, but then also the 4th fastest time with 6:16, and the 5th fastest time with 6:17.
So theoretically, even though Josh Meering is out of the finals, having just lost his last race, he still has put up the 2nd fastest time of the weekend, which would still put him on the US team.
You mean Noah Bracci, but yes.
Yes, sorry.
100% yes. Noah Bracci is still technically in that running for a spot on the speed team because of his qualification run of 5:85. It's a lot. I hope everyone can understand. That's a nice look at John Kelly with the clipboard, our speed expert, and the person who runs the speed. And now you're looking at John Muse, which is the head of high performance here at USA Climbing. Oh, he looked at the camera.
We got eyes on you.
We wanted him to wave at us, but you know, he's playing hard to get. It's fine.
Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying watching these speeders.
We are moments away, and we are going to start with that small final, which means it's between 3rd and 4th place, which is Michael Finn Henry, and Noah Bracci that will be going out first, fighting for that 3rd spot and fighting, you know, to put up faster times and make their possibility to joining the team more probable.
Right, so even though they're going for 3rd and 4th place, they're still going for their fastest time of the weekend and the fastest 2 times of the weekend to try to put themselves on the national team here at the USA Climbing National Team Trials.
Exactly, and Michael Finn Henry is going to be on the left and Noah Bracci on the right, getting ready for that
Climbers on your mark.
Small final run.
Hooked up to our True Blue Auto Blaze here.
Ready.
Clean starts in terms of time, but an early fall for Noah. Michael Finn Henry still trying to get a faster time, 6:55. I think not as fast as his time earlier this week of 6:47, but still a good run, and he'll end up in that 3rd place position.
And again, even though Noah has lost, his time yesterday in the qualifying run is still one of the 2 fastest of the event, so that should still put him on the national speed team.
He had a devastating slip with his right foot off of that handhold, and he just wasn't able to recover from it. Michael Finn Henry was able to finish with a clean run, but unfortunately, it's not a time that's going to put him in one of the 1st or 2nd fastest times of the week, but still walking away with 3rd place and a really good time. And, you know, walking away with a clean run after a grueling finals is always a good feeling. And this is the race that we've been waiting for all night between John Brosler and Merritt Ernsberger, going for 1st and 2nd here. John on the left, our speed national champion and also national record holder in speed. And Merritt Ernsberger looking
really
to take
holding
it.
his own. Yeah.
I think he's looking to take it away from him.
He sure is. He is on one tonight. I think he PR'd. He's getting in the zone. He's going to go ham here.
We saw Merritt's
on your mark.
brother earlier in the qualification of bouldering. It wasn't live streamed, but we were watching his brother Ellis. So you have two.
And Ellis made the
Ready.
lead team.
Yes, he did. Clean starts from both athletes. John flying up. Oh, a slip from John, but Merritt's able to keep it up. 6-2-8. It looks like Merritt will have won first place at this event, which is actually something he really needed to do.
That is amazing,
because he didn't have
winning this event puts him on the team.
Exactly, and he didn't have the fastest time going into it. So Merritt Ernsberger is the team trials unofficially champion in speed.
Which is so, so great for him because Brosler putting up the national record automatically put him on the team. Here's Brosler's just a bit of a slip, missed the little ball with the right foot. But
Merritt had a very clean run, really efficient with his feet. Basically, throughout this entire competition tonight, he never had a slip up, which I think as a speed climber, that's really the most you can ever ask for. And to end up winning this event is really exciting, putting him on that team. And what's really
consistency in any discipline is amazing. Consistency in speed is even more amazing.
Right? Totally. But and part of what's even more exciting is that this year in Salt Lake there will be a Speed World Cup, so he'll be able to go and do that. And we are going to go to a quick interview with Merritt Ernsberger. It'll just take us a second to set up, but we'll be there with him momentarily.
He has to be ecstatic. I don't know if he knows that Brosler and Noah had the two fastest times of the weekend and he needed to win, but if I were Merritt, I would be so stoked because that was honestly the only way that he could have gotten on the team was to win or put up, you know, a new national record. So for him, amazing, amazing performance. Winning this event puts him on the team with our two qualified Olympians and our two fastest times of the week from Noah Bracci and John Brosler. Little overhead shot here of what's going on at the speed round, getting ready for the women's final. We're setting up to interview our winner, Merritt. Interesting thing about this event, this is only team selection. This is the team trials event. This is not nationals, so we don't have national champions from this event. We are only selecting team. Our nationals will be held later in the year, so there's no national champion from this event. This is only team selection, so Merritt would technically be the team trials champion. And this just selects our team for the World Cups that we have coming up, 2 in Salt Lake, back-to-back, bouldering May 22nd, bouldering and speed May 28th. So we'll go over to Merritt and Megan.
I can't even believe it.
Merritt, congratulations on winning this competition. And also, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did you PR tonight?
I did,
That
yes.
6:03.1
Yeah,
was a
I did.
PR. That was so exciting to see.
Thank you.
Now, walking away, winning this competition and being eligible to compete at the World Cups, and specifically the World Cup in Salt Lake, how do you feel about that?
I'm so excited. It was very unexpected. I came to this comp like wanting to get, good enough to go to the World Cup, but I never thought I would win.
Well, you definitely did more than that. And one thing about your climbing tonight was you were so efficient. What have you been working on to be that efficient?
Well, I took a little break from speed training, and then I just came back to it and tried to get, a lot of runs. I tried to learn some new beta and, just try to get that efficiency down. So.
Well, you did a great job doing
Thank
that.
you.
And another thing I want to ask is, I noticed that your head during your runs, you never faltered. If you slipped or if someone else slipped, you were always able to bring it back quickly.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
I have no idea. I honestly, never even thought about it. But I think I kind of, even if I slip, I know, where my body is, so I'm able to just, pick the feet and put them back on, so.
And how did it feel to get to race against John Brosler? I know in speed he's been really instrumental in like helping to grow the speed program in USA Climbing.
It was amazing. We did a little bit of training together right before this, so I guess I got a little practice, but no, it was awesome. I've never raced him on in a comp, and definitely not on this level. So.
Well, huge congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
We're so excited that you are on the team, and great job with that PR as well.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. All right, so.
I think you're good.
The women are getting set up behind the wall here. We have about 3 minutes until the exciting round of women's finals. So the way that we are selecting our team from this event for the men and the women, it is our 2 qualified Olympians on each side. It will be Kyra Condi and Brooke Rabatou for the women, along with the winner of this event, first place from those brackets. Following that, the 2 fastest times from the whole weekend. So that time does not have to be put up today. That time could have been put up in qualifiers. And the reason we're doing this is not a national championship event. We're not crowning a national champion. We have a podium, but this event is to choose our team. It's not a competition. It is a team selection. And so moving into World Cups, we want our best athletes and our fastest athletes on the team. So first, second, third at this event, winning your bracket doesn't necessarily mean you're the fastest speed climber. And when we go into World Cups with our speeders, we want the fastest athletes. And so for the men's side, it'll be Nathaniel Coleman, Colin Duffy, our 2 qualified Olympians, Merritt Ernsberger, who you just heard from, the winner of this event, and then the fastest 2 times from the weekend, John Brosler, national record holder, and Noah Bracci, momentarily national record holder.
Exactly. That is going to be the team, and that's why in each round it's really important to give it your all. If you don't have one of those faster times, and in reality, you kind of need to have one of the 3 fastest times to even be in the running, since we do have those qualified Olympic athletes competing in these rounds. So every run is your shot to hopefully get a faster time. And I think we saw that hunger from the men, and I don't doubt that we will see it from the women.
And it's cool to see their race in a different aspect. Like, obviously you're going head to head and you want to beat your opponent, but what it ultimately comes down to is time. You want to be the fastest, you want to put up the fastest time. And so that's just another added aspect of it. It's not just beat your opponent. So if your opponent slips, you know, like lollygag to the top, it's your opponent slips and you still go as fast as possible to the top, because that's how you get on the team. There's only one winner here, and your odds of winning, I guess for the men, are 1 to 16, and for the women it's 1 to 8. So getting a faster time for yourself is better odds of getting on the team than just winning the event.
Exactly, and what will be different with the women is because there are only 8 of them, they won't have as many chances to actually put up those times. The queen of speed, Emma Hunt, going for it. Going to
have trained speed with Emma in Atlanta. It's no joke, man.
No, she leaves
She's
you in
so
the dust.
Fast. I showed up like a little pep in my step, like, yeah, I ran track, I'm fast. These kids ain't got nothing, and I was like really put in my place.
Emma is very fast, and remember, her new record time is 8:04, so that's what she'll be looking to beat. Gabrielle Tortolat on the right will be looking to give Emma a run for her money.
Interesting fact about Emma is you can see the tape on her knee, and she has had a knee surgery, and so really awesome to see her recover and put up a great time here. 7.9, a new national record.
Emma Hunt does it
First run
again.
of the night, new national record from Emma Hunt. That was so anticlimactic. I almost didn't even notice.
It really was, because we
especially
had to just
after
wait
the boys,
for the
you know, all
yeah.
the boys put up like 6, 7, 8s, and I saw 7, 9, and was like, oh, it was kind of slow, but.
And I think we were also
not.
expecting Emma to maybe not push it as hard in that very first run, But I think maybe because she already has had the fastest time from the week, she didn't really have much to lose in terms of
For sure.
if she false started or something. So she was able to just go for it, and a new record. See, I knew she wanted to break that record by more than a 1/10 of a second.
Totally.
She really did it now with a 7.95. Very exciting new national record for Emma Hunt. Also, I did previously make a mistake. The women still do the same amount of races, even though there are only 8 of them. I don't know what I was thinking. just to clarify, in case anyone wants to know more about speed.
But what is interesting is that all 8 of these women have already qualified for the Speed World Cup in Salt Lake City.
Exactly.
Our quota is 10, and only 8 signed up for the team trials event, and so all 8 of them will represent the U.S. team at the Speed World Cup in Salt Lake, May 28th.
Which takes a little bit of the pressure off of the athletes in
For
order
sure.
to perform the way they want to. Brooke Rabitou on the right, one of our Olympic qualified athletes, and Julia Duffy on the left, another one of our younger athletes in the competition here, and this being her first adult event.
Ready.
Clean start from both athletes.
Julia doing standard beta, Brookie doing Tomoa skip.
Looks like Brooke is kind of taking a lead here, and Julia is going to get her at the last second. 9.64. Really nice run for Julia and Brooke. Brooke did not have as good of a run in her qualifiers, so though she didn't end up winning that bracket, at least she improved her time from earlier this week. They were kind of neck and neck here. From the camera angle, it was kind of hard to tell who actually was ahead.
Right.
But Julia was able to get to that buzzer at the last second before Brooke. Different, not super close in actual times, but
It's great for Julia because Brooke is already qualified for the U.S. team as an Olympic athlete, and so Julia's way onto the national team is to win.
yeah, so definitely more pressure there for Julia.
Or put up the second fastest time.
Exactly. Kyra Condi here getting ready for her first run of the night, another one of our Olympic qualified athletes.
This will be a fun race. I remember Amanda from last year's, well, we didn't have nationals
Climbers
last
on
year.
your
The year
mark.
2020 never happened. When I say last year, I mean 2019. 2019 lead at Speed Nationals, and she put up a great time there.
Clean starts from both women. Kyra off to an early lead, really showing her power that she has. And she's been training speed a lot, and it's clearly paying off. 8.6 for Kyra Condi, 10.6 for Amanda Brownstein. And Kyra will be moving into that next round.
Really great time for Kyra, and I was sitting next to her coach Josh Larson yesterday in the qualifiers, and she put up a similar time, and my expression was, oh, awesome, that was great, that was fast. And he goes, nah. And I was like, oh, sick, really? And he goes, yeah, we've been keeping her speed a secret. And I think it's
Well, I don't think it's a secret anymore.
For sure.
Speed is definitely paying off here for Kyra Condi, and she'll be moving into that semifinal.
You're allowed to watch from the side.
I take it back again. The women do have less rounds. They start in quarterfinal.
I figured, I mean, there's half
Exactly.
half of them in the men.
Sorry, everybody.
No way
I don't know
they
what's
do the same
happening
amount
here.
of races.
Maybe
we can make them race twice.
I'm still freaking out over what happened in the men's round. A record, a new PR for Merritt.
Another
It's
record.
just too much excitement. On the right, we have Isabel Gifford. And on the left, Callie Close.
Callie Close, a teammate of
Climbers
Emma
on your
Hunt's, and
mark.
those two women train together a lot, both of them very speedy. Their coach, Alexi, down in Atlanta, does a great job.
Clean starts from both women. Callie off to an early lead. Really efficient with her feet here. Gaining speed. Oh, little
Nice,
slip.
nice, Megan.
Needs to recover. I know, I jinxed her. But she recovered
Great
nicely.
run. Still faster than any run I've ever put up.
Same.
Her start was really interesting, though. She really skips that second start hold, and some people sort of swing their leg over to it, and as you can see, she stabs her left leg over to it with a ton of precision, and that's sort of what Bassa does, the French speed climber, and it's sort of like a method of his that athletes have adopted to really swing that foot over or stab it over to hit that precisely and then propel them upward.
Really nice recovery there from Callie Close in this earlier round. She definitely wants to make the mistakes earlier when she's racing an opponent that maybe hasn't put up times as fast as hers. But like we saw with the men, even if you slip, you could still slip again and fall. So to be able to recover is very important, and I'm sure she'll be really happy with that round.
For sure. And also these earlier rounds in the bracket, you're kind of getting the jitters out. In the qualifying round, you get 2 practice runs. And that's sort of to like get a feel for the wall and a fear. There's no fear in speed.
You never know.
A feel for the wall and a feel for the holds.
Let's take a look at our bracket. The women going into that semifinal, we have Emma Hunt, who will be going against Julia Duffy, and then our Olympic qualifier, Kyra Condi, will be taking on Callie Close.
This is going to be a really exciting second round. Let's see if Emma Hunt has another national record in her.
And we are jumping into that semifinal round, and from there, we'll be going into the finals after that.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Half the athletes, half the races.
Lost my headset.
Lost your head.
Really though, it's so cool to see how far the U.S. athletes have come with speed.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think back to when you and I were in youth competitions and there wasn't even a standardized speed route.
No, it was a jug haul. And so Bree asked me today, she was like, what's your best time? And I said 9:99. And she goes, no, like when you were younger. And I was like, well, when we were younger, we didn't have a speed route. It was a jug haul. And she was like, well, what was your best time on that? And I was like, I don't know, because the wall could have been 15 feet high. It could have been 30 feet high. There's no standardization, so you don't know what your record is.
You're like 4.
Yeah, totally.
So one name you might be realizing isn't here and surprised by is Piper Kelly, and she is another one of the speed athletes that has done really well in the past and been on the speed team for many years, but she actually just had rotator cuff surgery, so she's out there healing. She's in school as well, and her dad, John Kelly, is the one who runs the speed event. And so Piper, if you're watching, we miss you and we hope you'll be back soon, and we wish you a speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery.
I didn't even realize I did that.
No, but I'm full of dad jokes. It's cool that her dad came out to volunteer. Like he has no athletes here, you know, neither Piper nor Shay are here doing speed, and here he is running it. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, the volunteers that we have here at USA Climbing are always amazing. So many of the parents take the time to come out and volunteer at events like this, and really we couldn't run them without them. So
no way.
Thank you to the volunteers. We appreciate you. And honestly, like without John Kelly, I don't know. He knows everything about speed.
Right.
So like, I mean, he walked in the door and I was like, I have a quick question for you. Just to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Can you confirm that? Da, 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 da.
Well, now I know. I want to know what the question actually was.
You know what's funny?
It was not important enough to remember.
I actually don't remember. There's John Kelly with the white mask on. I wish you could hear us. It looks like he's staring right at us.
He's got all the speed secrets in that
I
notebook
know,
right there.
To be able to take a peek into that binder.
Secrets of the speed universe. A couple of women hanging out back there, waiting for the finals, along with the rest of the speeder men who are done.
I love that you turned this term speeder into an actual thing. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Boulderer, climber, speeder.
Climber, speeder.
Speeder.
See Emma Hunt and Julia Duffy getting ready. We're going to come back in about 30 seconds. So these rests are not, you know, just for fun. These are actually required rest times so that when these speed events happen, everything is similar in a fair playing field, so the athletes are getting the same amount of rest each time they go out there. So you don't have a competition in a different place and someone gets 10 minutes, and that's not really fair if
for sure
the other people get like 30 minutes.
Like
so
an athlete
we got to keep it consistent.
just raced and they turn around and throw them back on the wall, you know?
Yeah. Like in the Seagull Comp.
Right. Can I get a minute and a water?
So Emma Hunt's national record was the first official sub 8-second run in the U.S. for a woman.
Amazing.
Which is huge. And you know what? It's been really exciting to watch Emma Hunt. She came onto the adult scene back in 2019. She knew she was a good speed climber, but you know, being in the adult circuit is different. But she came in there and was ready and walked away with the national championship title in that first year. And she hasn't shown any signs of slowing down yet.
Totally.
Emma Hunt on the left,
She knows
Julia
what she's
Duffy
got.
on the right. Clean starts from both athletes. Emma really firing up the wall, obviously trying to go for another record.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she does it! Emma Hunt is on fire tonight. Absolutely amazing. Another record for Emma Hunt. I think Memphis might love Emma. This is her
she's
town.
stoked, but I feel like she's like, yeah, I've gone that fast before. Like we're like, holy crap, and she's like, yeah, I've been doing that in practice for like the last 3 months, you know?
Exactly, and it's so cool to see her be able to bring it into the competition because, you know, speed is a lot like a track event in the sense that like you do something in practice, but it doesn't always happen in a competition. So to have it happen here and to be the first big competition of the season, breaking records left and right, Emma Hunt. You can definitely see that huge smile underneath that mask.
Interesting, her tactic when she hits it's not even a buzzer, it's a laser, and so you have to break its plane of surface, if that makes sense. You don't just slap it, you have to cross it. And so when Emma hits the buzzer, she doesn't just slap it because that would mean that you're jumping up, and when you hit it, you've hit your apex and your momentum's already coming down. When Emma hits the buzzer, her hand is still moving upward, and so she's hitting it earlier than these other women, and that's on purpose. That's not her going up and hitting it on the way down. She's still propelling herself upward, and so when she hits it, you can see her hand is still moving up.
Kyra and Callie, after seeing that race from Emma, I'm sure are excited to put it all out there in their own races, knowing that multiple sub-7 runs are possible has to be inspiring. Good starts from both athletes. A little slower for Kyra at the beginning, but it looks like she's gaining speed here. A little slip from Callie, and Kyra is going to walk away with a win there. Another example, not over till it's over.
Someone slips, and the person right next to you can slip right after you, and that was a faster time for Kyra than the one she put up before, and she slipped. So if that's the case, we know that she can go faster.
Exactly. She should feel really good going into this next round because with that slip, who knows what could happen, and she could maybe give Emma Hunt a run for her money.
sure.
And now we will again have a very exciting final round for the women.
In my unofficial eye, it was looking like she was going into the low 8s before that slip.
I totally agree with you. 8.56 is what Kyra ended up walking away with. Here we go into another 5-minute break, and we will be coming back to you from the break with that small final first, which will be between Julia Duffy and Callie Close, and then it will be followed by the big final, the big showdown, Emma Hunt versus Kyra Condi.
Kind of crazy. I don't know that Kyra would have ever thought that she would have ended up in a speed final if you'd asked her before the Olympics, you know?
That is a very good point. I think once she qualified for the Olympics, she really knew that speed was a discipline that she could improve a lot in quickly.
And had to do in order to qualify.
And had to do, exactly. A lot of the athletes prior to the combined event being a discipline hadn't always spent as much time on speed. So there was a chance to really put some work in there. Here's a look at our
current leader,
current national record holder, breaking her own records over and over again, Emma Hunt.
Our speeder leader, if you will.
Speeder leader, I like that. We should get a shirt made for her that says speeder leader.
I'm so down.
She would love it.
Fun fact about Emma, if you guys, I don't know if she's gonna want me spilling the secret
Emma,
here, but
Emma totally doesn't care.
All right.
She won't mind at all.
Her pre-speed dinner. You're not gonna believe this. What propels America's fastest speeder up the wall? 5 Guys.
I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, all of the energy that you're burning, though.
Whatever. She's a teenager. She can eat. Man, when I was in high school, I would have McDonald's and Taco Bell on the same day.
Right.
You can kind of eat whatever.
Yeah.
But that's her ritual. Like her good luck ritual is 5 guys the night before.
I do think, though, you do need the calories. I mean, think about like Michael Phelps.
For
when
sure.
He swims.
Carbs and fat, man. That's what you burn first.
He used to eat crazy amounts of calories because
do
you're
Subway
burning
commercials.
so much.
Yeah.
Here's another look at our bracket. We are going into the finals, and Emma Hunt will be going against Kyra Condi in the big final, which will go
It's gonna be
second.
so sick.
And then the first final to go will be the small final, which on the next page we will see who is in that small final. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Callie Close and Julia Duffy. It's just not moved on to the other side, but it's fine. Callie Close and Julia Duffy will be in that small final. And I hope we see another record. Not too many surprises. The biggest surprise probably is Brooke Grabatu not putting up a faster time against Julia Duffy, even though she came in a lower spot qualifying. She has in the past put up faster times, but she is an Olympic qualified athlete, so she will be on that speed team anyway. So not so much to lose there for her. This is really just a practice training round anyway.
Brooke and Kyra on the national team, along with Emma Hunt, because she keeps smashing her own record. And then the rank that's up for grab, if Emma wins, then is it the next 2 fastest times?
Let's take another look at that last record that Emma Hunt put up, which was a extremely efficient run. Just like Merritt Ernsberger earlier, she had her foot placements and hand placements perfectly placed.
For sure.
And she never lost her momentum. So much power was going into that run, and walked away with a 7.76 time. And I just
really pulling in tight to the wall on that last pull going up for the buzzer. You know, a lot of athletes, they come out, they let their arms come out and then sort of arch their way up to hit the buzzer, and Emma stays really tight, and that has to knock off tenths of seconds, you know?
It totally does. And she really, just coming into this competition, I think it's so cool that her first record she broke was by 1/10 of a second, and she was like, okay, cool guys,
dude, half a second.
I can do it again. And now I'm just gonna really blow it out of the park. A look there at Callie Close on the left and
These
Julia
two women
Duffy on the
are
right.
Going to be fighting for time here. So they're going for 3rd and 4th place, but they want to put up the 2nd fastest time of the event. That's what's going to get them on the national team. So there's still a lot at stake for these 2 women here going for 3rd and 4th.
This is maybe even, actually not even maybe, this is really the more strenuous race that's going to happen. Emma Hunt, Kyra Condi, not so much on the line. This is the big race. This is where it all happens.
I wonder if they know that. I hope they don't.
I hope they don't
So
too.
stressful.
It'll be way easier for them to be able to stay relaxed and let their body do what they need to do in order to get on the team.
Both lining up like they're going to do this standard sort of bossa
method
foot swing here.
I've noticed that a lot of the taller competitors do seem to stick to that bossa method versus the Tomoa method.
For sure, for sure. Now I'm doing the Sean for sure.
Where's Sean Bailey?
It's a lot harder for some of the taller athletes to do that Tomoa skip because it is a hand-foot match, like knee by the face, sort of rock up into that power. So you're right, a lot of the taller athletes do the bossa, and he's tall too.
Clean starts from both athletes. Remember, they are going to be looking for a fast time here to try to get into that faster time rank in order to qualify them onto the team. Real nice recovery by Callie Close. Unfortunately, those times were not nearly as fast as what they put up earlier. So that won't get them into that faster time rank. But there's more to this breakdown, and we'll have to see how it all plays out.
Definitely.
When the results become official. Julia Duffy.
They both do look a little disappointed. Some slips there, and they both know that they're seconds faster than what they've put up here and that there is a lot on the line.
I think it was really impressive with Callie, that slip she had. She was able to really catch up there to Julia Duffy and almost take the race away from her, but not fast enough. Not the way you want to end a round, but great climbing from these women tonight. And we'll be moving on to that big final now. And let's see if Emma Hunt can break another record.
It looks like Callie on my screen does have the 2nd fastest time. of the event, so there's still a chance for her to make the national team.
Actually, Kyra, well, she does, but behind Kyra. Kyra has an
automatic.
8.59 from earlier. And
so she skipped, so they
so
look at the 5
9:05.
fastest.
Yeah, 9:05 with Callie, so she's in a really good spot there.
She's still, sitting in a good place.
Emma Hunt
stoked for
and
this.
Kyra Connie getting ready to go for this final run. Nice clean start from both athletes. Kyra really fighting to keep up with Emma and doing a great job, but it looks like Emma's going to take it away with another record!
And an insane PR for Kyra. 8.0 and a 7.5.
Wow. 7.56, another national record for Emma Hunt, and a new PR for Kyra Condi.
And literally yesterday, that would have been a national record had Emma not smashed her own record 7 times by a full half second.
I just have to say, the U.S. athletes and speed are just
really
taking
stepping
off.
up.
They have absolutely crushed it in their training, and being able to perform here this week, that was absolutely amazing. You know, one of the things about speed, the athletes really are able to push each other when they're going so fast, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Emma Hunt, so efficient. Every run tonight really pushed Kyra Connie to get out there and be as efficient as she can be, getting a PR. Great speed runs from those lady speeders.
And that time for Emma is only a half a second off of the world record time. Not the national record, the world record. So 7.0. and Emma would have a world record.
Which I think after that run we just saw, she is capable of making that happen hopefully in the future. And remember everyone, there was also a PR there for Kyra Condi with 8.05. Great to see these US athletes really pushing each other to be better in this discipline. And wow, Emma Hunt, I mean,
amazing round.
Okay, five guys work.
For sure.
I mean, do not argue with it. So we're gonna have an interview coming up with Miss Emma Hunt, the current national record holder who broke her own records over and over and over this week.
Right.
I think was it 5 times that she broke her record this week?
It was literally every time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Insane.
So we're gonna get that interview for you.
This is so cool. Like, honestly, there being a Speed World Cup in America, on American soil in Salt Lake at the end of the month, like, if you want to see something awesome and like Olympic level speed climbing in person, like, this is so, here's another look at this final race. And if this doesn't make you excited, like, you're lying. Half a second time, a new national record. Looking forward to the Olympics in 2024 in Paris, speed climbing is taken out of the all-around, and it will be its own medal, and so really looking forward to seeing Emma there. Let's go to Megan and Emma.
I did 3 runs today? We did 1, 2, 3. So 4. 4 total. Yes. Yeah. 7, 5, 6. What?
Emma celebrating with her parents. They're so proud. So awesome. Every time I go to Atlanta, they host me. They're my Southern family. And Emma works so hard. It's really, really cool to see her smash these records. She keeps looking back at the route like, what just happened? Oh my gosh.
Emma, huge congratulations, watching you break record after record after record, being in the mid-7s. How are you feeling right now?
Ecstatic. I got 2 PRs back to back, so like I can't be happier.
And when you say PR, you mean even PRs from what you've done in practice, right?
Yeah, so my practice PR before was 7.89, so it dropped a lot.
Wow, that is so incredible. How did you keep it together? Do you feel like getting a PR just made you feel more confident to really put it all out there, or did you feel a little bit of pressure to perform each time?
No pressure. I just felt confident because I got my PR. Like, I'm psyched. I just got to keep doing it.
Well, you looked absolutely confident out there. And what I really like about you as well is you're always enjoying yourself. And do you think that that plays a role in how you perform?
It's especially easy to do it at this comp because this is the first comp in a year. Like, it's just so easy. I'm just so happy to be here. And I get to speed climb with a bunch of friends. So, and I PR'd, like, just so many good things.
What do you think it is about Memphis? Do you think there's something in the water? Why do you think your PR is happening here and that you're peaking at this event specifically?
Red Powerade, and then just a good playlist.
Well, those are some great secrets. I'm actually curious, what is on your playlist?
Today the number one played song was In One Ear by Cage the Elephant.
Nice.
And then like Macklemore, Thrift Shop, basically anything. Like Quinn Francia, he competed here. He told me I would get a 7 if I listened to Valentino. And then Joe Goodacre told me I would get a 7 if I listened to Call Me Maybe. So
that's always a good choice. Now, you're only half a second off of the world record. Are you starting to think about maybe 2024 in Paris?
That'd be cool.
Well, that would be awesome, and I hope to see you there. And congratulations again, not only on winning this competition here tonight, but record after record after record, and you know, holding on to that national record title.
Thank you. Super stoked.
Okay, yeah. You're good.
Okay,
There's Emma's national record time still up on the clock there, a 7:56, only half a second off of the world record, which I'm pretty sure I witnessed live. One of those World Cups. Not last year, because 2020 didn't happen, but 2019. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Speed might be the most exciting discipline to watch in person. It's action-packed the entire time, especially like when you get to the world stage. It's neck and neck, and that's where I was talking about slip after slip happening, and each athlete going head-to-head can slip and recover and slip and recover, and they could put up 14s, like the fastest men in the world could put up 14s, but it's literally not over till it's over, and they just keep slipping, and this is so cool, and I wonder if it's going to start to introduce some different kinds of athletes to the sport of climbing. You know, like we have Reza, the power lifter. Olympic powerlifter is our current men's world record holder for speed, I believe, and he came in from a different sport. You know, he's stocky and strong and powerful, and that's sort of something that this discipline sees in climbing, is really, really muscly. Like, it's not really the lean sort of body type that we can see in lead and bouldering. Like, you need power to get up these speed routes, and I wonder if we're going to start to see some different athletes, sort of CrossFit sprinter type athletes, cross over into climbing, and that would be really interesting, especially as we head into Paris 2024, when speed is removed from the overall. It's its own discipline. Paris 2024 Olympics will be boulder and lead combined, and speed is its own medal. And so what's interesting about the Olympics is when climbing was bidding to be an Olympic sport, nobody could decide on which discipline they wanted to put in. Bouldering only, lead only, speed only, and there were arguments for all three. And so, not unlike all-around gymnastics, one tactic to get all three disciplines into climbing was to combine them. New sports only get a certain number of medals. You can't be a new sport and just throw a bunch of disciplines in. So new sports only get a certain amount of medals, and that's 6 medals. First, second, third for the men, first, second, third for the women. And so in order to get all the disciplines in climbing into the Olympics, we had to lump them all together. And so ideally, slowly by slowly, as the years go by, we can start to pick them apart, and they can all be their own single disciplines again. But that is the reason that there is combined in the Olympics for 2021. And then in moving into 2024, we do take speed out. It is its own discipline. It'll be its own medal. We get extra medals. And then bouldering and lead will be combined. Hopefully that makes sense. What you guys are waiting to watch here is ceremonies. We'll do podium and U.S. team. So first we'll do the men's podium. That's what you guys are waiting for. And then we will get a look at our U.S. national team, and it will be different from the podium. So first, second, third is the podium at this event, and team selection will be different. And so really excited to take a look at our team for the first time at the USA Climbing National Team Trials Speed Finals.
Can you hear me? Yeah. At this time, we will be presenting the awards brought to you by YETI. Presenting our awards today, Bruce Mitchell, President of USA Climbing, Mark Norman, CEO of USA Climbing, and John Weigel, Partner President of High Point Climbing and Fitness. Winning the bronze medal tonight in the men's speed, Michael Finn Henry. Please come up to the stage, Michael Finn Henry.
Thank you so much.
Winning the silver medal, John Brosler. And winning the gold medal in the 2021 National Team Trials in Speed, Merritt Ernsberger. Merritt Ernsberger, come to the podium. We're gonna take a second for Merritt Ernsberger to get here. We're going to be announcing after this podium the athletes who qualify for the national team to represent the U.S. in speed at our future World Cups. Merritt Ernsberger is currently with USADA, so we're gonna actually redo the men's podium when he gets back. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the women's podium first. Congrats, guys, you did great. We're gonna bring you back up in a sec. Oh, wait, just kidding. Just kidding, Merritt is in the building. Woo! Our national team trials champion in speed, Merritt Ernsberger. Congratulations, guys. Now we're going to take a second to announce the national team who will be representing the USA at all of the World Cups. With there being a Speed World Cup in Salt Lake City, this is extremely exciting. First up on the team, Nathaniel Coleman. One of our Olympic qualified athletes, and followed by him is another one of our Olympic qualified athletes, Colin Duffy. Merritt Ernsberger will be joining them after winning this competition. Come on back up here, Merritt. Followed by our national record holder, Mr. John Brosler, who qualifies with the fastest time of the event. And rounding out the five, Mr. Noah Bracci, who put up that second fastest time of the event. Congratulations, guys, and we can't wait to watch you represent the US of A in Salt Lake City at that World Cup. And now for the women's podium for speed. Winning the bronze medal, we have Julia Duffy. Winning the silver medal, we have Kyra Condi. And winning the gold medal in the 2021 National Team Trials in Speed, Emma Hunt. And we're gonna bring up those other women that made the national team. In addition to the three in front of you, we have Olympic qualified athlete Brooke Rabatou. And Callie Close, who had the third fastest time of the weekend. Congratulations, women, and Emma Hunt, congrats on another national record. Can't wait to see you all in Salt Lake at the World Cup representing the USA in speed. Thank you everyone for watching Speed Finals tonight. Join us again tomorrow, bright and early, for the men's bouldering semifinals and the women's lead semifinals. Good night.
I think winter has become my favorite season here. That's when you get those dramatic views, brings out all the colors and the gray pops, and I feel like it's kind of like Mecca or the center of the universe. It's not a fluffy place to come. It's not a feel good, boost your ego. It's just like you get a beating. Yeah, if I could only climb one place for the rest of my life, it would be Yosemite.
Since 1966, we have viewed walls not as obstacles, but as opportunities. From the big walls of Yosemite to the high peaks of the Himalaya, we were searching for a personal kind of freedom. In this pursuit, we found a community, strengthened by different stories, experiences, and perspectives. This community has shown us that the only way forward is together.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.